Every person in the audience has seen one particular movie poster with a ginormous shark swimming below a girl ready to attack. Many of us can envision this poster and know that it belongs to the film Jaws. The question is, what impact did this shark have to make to be known today? The film Jaws is an award-winning motion picture that has pushed past all realms of the movie industry, but by doing so, it has caused controversy over shark life. I have done extensive research on this movie for the very purpose to illustrate the nightmare of this robotic beast lives in a fictional story, but the terror has transitioned into reality. I will prove the impact that Jaws had on the world in three main points. It is carried to be one of the most horrific movies in history. It used new scare tactics and musical advantages, but it also changed the way media portrayed sharks. People who went to watch this movie in the theater as a kid said that they didn't like going to the beach after the movie, and if they went, they wouldn't get in the water. People also went as far as to say they wouldn't get in pools or lakes just because they couldn't deal with the anxiety that Jaws caused them to have in deep water. The opening scene is ranked one of the top scariest scenes in the movie, but what's interesting is that the shark is never seen in this attack. It's because the audience gets to use their imagination and determine how bad they actually think it is. There was a study done on the effects of watching Jaws and watching the film. In the Media of Psychology in 1999, Hostrika writes, "We see that Jaws makes the top list of scariest movies that affects men and women after watching. It affects fear, wild imagination, fear of sleeping alone, nightmares, insomnia, and even caused some people to sleep with the lights on. In other scary movies, the effects were not this severe. So why did the film scare people across the world more severely than other films? Jaws was actually one of the first scary movies to use jump scares. Jump scares were a new element that Jaws brought to the table. It's a scare tactic towards the audience to raise anxiety and then scare them when the loud music plays, amplifying the scare and amplifying the audience's reaction to actually thinking it's more scary than it is. But let's talk about the iconic music used to indicate the shark is near. The creation of the music was contrived to be recognizable and eerie. The low register of the motif suggests the large size and the power that a higher register would not. By experience, we know that large objects are required to produce sounds like a bass register. A low register can also show the lurking of the shark beneath the water. It can also express danger, violence, and menace. Wingstead, co-author of Narrative Music, Visual, and Meaning in Film 2010. Jaws was the first to add this edge to the movie, without it being seen before. Other popular movies like Star Wars actually copied this motif, and that's why Darth Vader has his own theme song, just like Bruce the Shark in Jaws. It is no question that Jaws has had such an impact on the importance of music to make characters known and described through their own musical introduction. Jaws not only had an impact on individuals and movie production, but it also changed the media's portrayal of sharks. After the first release of Jaws, the use of sharks in the media to portray life and death situations became more common. Neff, Australian Journal of Political Science, 2014. It is as if people became obsessed with the perfect new monster. But what made these beasts ideal for production is that they're real. Down to the coast of Australia, a boy named Ken Crew was killed by a shark while surfing. There have been many attacks prior to his killing, but his was the last straw. People of Australia were making calls and news articles demanding a shark hunter to find the monster that killed all the victims. They also proceeded to call the shark Jaws and even stayed off the beach for quite some time. Australian Parliament tried to combat this situation by passing a law to kill sharks within close radius of the beach to protect the public. However, author of the book Jaws, Benchley, in 2000 came out with a statement. This is not a rogue shark tantalized by the taste of human flesh and bound to kill and kill again. Such creatures do not exist, despite what you might have derived from Jaws. The author has admitted that he regrets writing the book because of what he has done to the public viewing of sharks. Many sharks have been killed due to the production of Jaws. In fact, the sharks do not crave human flesh and are not likely to attack a human. Benchley is very involved in saving the shark population now. The film Jaws is an award-winning motion picture that has pushed past all realms of the movie industry, but by doing so has hurt controversy over shark life. It is important to know what an impact the movie has made that pushes past the label of classic because it has done so much more. Jaws itself terrorized people for decades, created a bold usage of music to amplify the scare, and started a domino effect of more and more shark movies and how people perceive sharks in general. We must remind ourselves that the shark we see in Jaws and the movies following the film are not what sharks are made out to be in real life. It is one talented author that gave us all a fear of sharks. However, if you decide to go shark hunting one day on your very own, I would recommend the advice from the character Chief Brody in the film. You're going to need a bigger boat.